sunlight begins to fade now, and I feel like I'm losing time, but I don't know how I'm here. The sunlight has turned to gray, and I feel like I'm losing love again. I don't know how I'm here. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe, and it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's another Tuesday night and another round of the Simracersworld TCR series. My name is Chaz Draycott, and I'll be bringing you all of the action this evening. Welcome to Spa Francorchamps, the beautiful and classic Belgian circuit in the Ardennes Forest. Really looking forward to seeing. Oh, and there's Jeremy Hessels, is it? Having a bit of a nightmare. No, it was Rashid Kassim. I do apologise. Really looking forward to how these boys get on round here tonight. Of course, it's a nice long circuit for these TCR cars to deal with, and it's certainly not the easiest either. Let me tell you that for free. Now, I'm going to give you a bit of a test right now just to see whether I have the championship standings working properly, which I'm pretty sure that I don't. We'll have to see. We'll have to see, won't we? Here we go then. Is it going to bring us up? Of course it's not. It loves me, this overlay. It absolutely loves me. You put the Drivers' Championship points in, and, you know, it just doesn't show up. Absolutely loves me, doesn't it? Shall we look at some race cars? Here are the guys then out on track at the moment. The beginning of qualifying is upon us. Thank you very much, King Sim. Good evening, my friend. Good evening, Milky. And hi, Ian Fox, my friend. Good to see you all back again for another brilliant stream. Or I hope it's a brilliant one anyway. Please like my videos. But here is the Meraki racing car of Lewis Ward. Wondering whether... No. Okay. Okay, it's not my friend. I'm just going to have to deal with it. This overlay is not my friend. At all. We've got the two classes, Pro and Am, tonight, of course. Don't forget. As always. Lewis Ward is actually right up there in the championship as well. And of course, the driver that we all know and love that is leading the way. Oh, I'll tell you what, actually, bear with me. Bear with me. No. Let's try this. I'm trying, trust me. Okay, so apparently Miguel is just his name. Overall? Let's go for the overall standings? No. Okay, right. Well, I'm going to have to shoot somebody or blame myself for that. I'll read them manually for you, I'm afraid. You're going to have to look at this manually. So, the championship leader, undoubtedly, if you've been watching for the last couple of weeks, is Miguel Freitas for Team Mad. He is on 534 championship points. 20 points behind him, second in the standings, is Lewis Ward, who we were just looking at then. Third place, actually, holding on very well as things stand at the moment. Although I can't see him on track at the moment. Where's he hiding? It's actually Connor Parisi, but I do not see him in the session. That's an interesting little twist. But yeah, third in the standings, Connor Parisi. Adam McNally is fourth in the championship at the moment for XII Racing. And Simracersworld Esports TCR's very own Matthias de Tige is fifth in that championship. Now in the AM category, it's still very close at the top. Carl Jacquelet leads the way at the moment. He's on 246 points, 25 points behind him. Only 25 points, that's not a lot in this championship, trust me, is Lee Deemer for XI iRacing Orange. Dean Timms is third in the championship for Year 1 Racing, making their cars first and third. Then we have Khan Nguyen for SCC Racing in fourth in the championship. And then behind them, in fifth in the AM standings at the moment, it's Mr. Fox himself, Mr. Andy Fox. So hopefully that gives you a good insight to where the championship is and why the standings won't work for me. Or could we try this? I'm going to try one more time. I'm sorry, but I'm going to give it a try. No. Apparently that's the overall standings. Pro and Am doesn't want to work for me either, look. It's very silly, isn't it? Look, nothing. Nothing at all. Well then. Well then. Should we go on board for a lap, shall we? Let's have a look on board as he's just come across the line now. Sebastian Denise into La Source, the first corner on the circuit. You've got to really try and hook the inside, sorry. Run it out wide, but not too much to get an off-track penalty on the left-hand side on the AstroTurf. Then you come down the hill to the fantastic Eau Rouge and Radion. Changing up to 6th gear, chucks it in. Bit of a lift as you go up, over the top then through Radion. And then it's flat out all the way down the straight. Andy Hopley goes fastest, 2:33 at the minute. 2.5 minutes to get a car around here. Quite long laps. Onto the brakes now into Les Combes. To the right and then to the left. Oh, the back end's got away from Sebastian Denise here. Keeps it together though, through the left, through the right. Tries not to run out wide for an incident point. And then back down the hill into the probably one of the more difficult corners on the circuit. Trying to get it hooked up around this hairpin as it's pointing you downhill. The sort of grip feels like it goes away from you a little bit into No Name corner. Very fast left-hander actually. It doesn't look that quick in these cars, but it really is. And yeah, Chris Moretta does say it right actually. Fun fact, Andy Hopley had the TCR qualifying world record around here for a while, so fingers crossed he can convert that tonight. Of course, Miguel Freitas is going to be the one to beat. Miguel's won 6 of the last 7 races, 7 of the last 8. Sorry, he's won the last 6 races in a row, and he's won 7 of the last 8 races that he's competed in, and he's now top of the championship. Sebastian Denise is really pushing this car here. Really working those front tyres. That's Andy Fox in front. Oh, I can imagine he likes to remind you of that one, Chris. I can imagine, mate. And yeah, Ian Fox says it right as well. There's going to be some great overtaking around here tonight, if you're brave enough, of course. Look at that there. He's just so cautious on the throttle. So cautious through Blanchimont into the bus stop, around the final few corners. We'll have a look at that wonderful WRT eSport livery. Just behind there as well is one of the Rev Match eSports cars, Ben Thanes, number 5. As things stand at the moment, Andy Hopley still on pole, Ben Thanes has gone 2nd, Lewis Ward is 3rd, Carl Jacquelet is in 4th place at the moment. Here's a train of cars coming across the line. Gregory Franks goes 2nd, Woodhouse goes 3rd. Good to see Mark Woodhouse back out tonight again. For Team Mad, they're doing a fantastic job so far this season. Dean Timms 13th. Oh, Lewis Ward, you cheeky little sausage. Fastest by 1.2 seconds over his teammate Andy Hopley. What an awesome lap that is. McNally and Deemer, 2 teammates, just 3/10 apart there in 6th and 7th. Deemer now goes top of the AM category. And of course, Deemer and Jacquelet are the 2 chasing each other for the top spot in the AM class in the championship, and they're clear of the rest of the AM drivers by quite a bit. Banks, Vincent, Sebastian Denise and Scott Malcolm between them. We see Lewis Ward here getting out of the way, and Andy Hopley is on a lap by the look of it. We'll go on the gearbox cam so you can see the beautiful livery on the front of that Meraki racing car. And you can hear that fantastic rasp of the Audi. I tell you what, we'll shut the music up for a minute. Oh, pops and bangs everywhere, I love it. It's a nice shot, isn't it, with the sun glinting into the camera. Don't forget, of course, 2 races tonight. And they're both going to be as action-packed as one another. 2 qualifying sessions as well. This one's 20 minutes, the other one is 10 minutes. There's one of the Year 1 cars getting out of the way. There's a humongous train of cars all around the same part of the lap as each other. Down the hill after Pouhon. We're at 15 viewers at the moment. Welcome everyone that has come along tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. The 2 Meraki cars getting even closer again now. Lewis Ward having to play second fiddle here at the moment and just see if he can get his teammate at the top of the standings. If we look at the track map, we'll see just about where everybody is. There you are, you can see a lot of them coming to the line now. Look how close they all are together. So we'll see the laps come in now. Vincent Charcenet goes to 5th. Andy Fox goes 11th. Ben Thayens goes back up to 5th place. Top of the board again, Miguel Freitas, 2:33.1. He's 3/10 clear. Matthias de Tige goes 7th. Jacquelet displaces him with 7th. We'll put the gaps on there as well. Woodhouse goes 6th, half a second off his teammate. Only a second covering the top 11 here. Just shows how close it is. Andy Hopley, can he go quicker? 3/10 off the top spot. He does! 2:33.117 puts him top. Kasim goes into 4th place. Great lap by Rashid there. And he'll be very happy that I've deleted his spec map already ahead of tonight. So he hasn't got a grey car this time. It's just black, white and blue. Lee Diemer goes 8th. That's important. He beats Jacquelet once again. Edward May goes into 14th position. And look at the spread of cars. By the way, they're the car numbers that people have around there, so you can see the to the very top now. Well, going up to the top is number 248. That is Ryan Walker for Nomad, just on his own in the middle there, highlighted green now in the middle of the track map. He's got a lot of space to himself as things stand at the moment. He's doing personal best sectors though. He's currently 23rd with a 2:37.2. But not even a 1/10 of a second between the top pair though. Andy Hopley on pole for Meraki as it stands. Miguel Freitas has been so dominant recently, you've got to hope that someone will start to bring that to an end. I mean, in one way I'm hoping for it because it'll be good to see him dethroned a bit, but the dominant performance by him has to be clapped at or applauded. That's the better phrase for it, isn't it? Applauded. Of course, I hope you're all well during the COVID-19 outbreak. Hope everybody everywhere is staying safe and making sure you are quarantined properly, but we're not going to go on about that too much because at the end of the day, this is sim racing and we can still love it to its fullest. Walker there goes 21st now, so he improves a little bit, 23.6, sorry, a 2:36.4. He'll be happier to have put that lap in there. Miguel Freitas is just coming to the end of a lap now. Doesn't look like he's got any slipstream off anybody at the moment. Now I know that he was going fastest in previous sessions without any slipstream at a track like Monza, which just proves he's an absolute animal in this thing. Straightens the car up, goes for the line. Miguel Freitas, he's done the best sector in sector 2. Oh, it's a 2:33.2, so he's just a little bit slower. Sorry, it was a purple sector 3 that he did. So car 2, position 2 at the moment. Fraser Smith is in 5th position as things stand, doing a great job. He's actually gone to 3rd place there, 2:33.4. Very well done. I really like that livery with full send written on it. I thought it was one of the Fury Simsport cars there of Edward May and Jez Banks, who has just gone past him. Jez had a nice little moment coming down the hill in practice where he put it in the gravel and did a rather large drift. Up the hill he goes. Past our shot there. Here's your AM-class leader then. Lee Diemer is in 9th place ahead of Carl Jacquelet for Excite Energy iRacing. doing what he needs to do at the moment. Good evening, Stephen DeWolf, my friend. I hope you're well. Good to see you. Now, someone that's surprising me at the moment is Matthias de Tige. His home race. He is actually the lowest placed Belgian on the grid at the moment, and usually himself and Ben Thayens are up there, but it's Gregory Vranks, who is 6th overall at the moment in the number 99 car. Same team, putting them to shame. Ben Thayens is 8th overall, who's just gone past him there, coming through Pouan. But I'm very, very proud of Fraser Smith for that lap. Great to see him doing so well up there. Just ahead of him on track there is Mark Woodhouse, who is down in 7th. And McNally as well, down in 13th as things stand. But this championship is so closely contested at the moment. It does get a little bit like the British Touring Car Championship at times, where you can just chuck the drivers' names all up in the air. And then whichever order they land on the ground in is what the grid's going to be with the maybe with the top 10 of these. Anyway, they're all so close. And yeah, Ian, hopefully we will see a sub 233. You never know. Good evening, Anton. Good to see you, mate. Andy Hopley, though, still top of the pile at the moment. Very good stuff from Andy Hopley. That was Edward May just going past him there, number 7. His teammate, Jez Banks, number 77. Quite a fan of that. Numbers of cars corresponding with one another. King Sim says, good luck to Fraser Smith. Yeah, from there on the grid, hopefully we'll see some good results from him tonight. 2:33.2 again for Freitas. He can't quite get there. De Tige goes up to 10th place. He's only gained 1 position though, with a 2:33.8. Not enough for him at the moment. Alex Torres is out on track but hasn't put a lap in yet. Maybe we're just waiting to see one from him. Ryan Walker there just getting out of his way in qualifying. Carl Newen is 25th at the minute for SCC Racing. Propping up the table currently, but he's going to try and change that. As McNally there goes up to 7th place. There you go, that's much better from him. He'll still want to be a bit further up. Good to see you all coming in chat. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying yourselves this evening. We're going to have some fantastic racing around here. Plenty of slipstreaming. Plenty of mind games. That's for sure. Oh, Andy Fox is... Oh, he's just pulled off to the side. There's Scott Malcolm in the Chrome Team Mad car. He said he didn't realise he had the spec map on last week, but certainly looks good. Very eye-catching, especially with the matte rear section. Nice drift there from Scott around the long right-hander going down the hill. The cars do look and sound fantastic. We'll go on board with Liam Silkstone for a moment. And you can hear the rasp of the RS3 LMS TCR. And just for you as well, actually, on the stream, what we'll do for just a moment, I'll turn it up a little bit. Here you go. Oh, that's me, Chris. Fantastic sound there of the Audi RS3. Plenty of pops and bangs on the overrun. Silkstone, of course, running the Irish flag on his livery due to his nationality. Comes across the line. I think that was an outlap that he was on anyway. Philip Hopley there, just behind him, 23rd on the grid at the moment. And here is Craig Jones, who is 21st for SCC Racing. Teammates, of course, with Carl Newen. I am a fan of that livery, you know. It's nicely done. They've done it so it does look like it's been had off with a paintball gun, but it works like that. I really, really like it. Who haven't we looked at tonight then? Who haven't we clicked on so far this evening? Just trying to think, really. Don't think there's anyone we haven't visited yet. Jeremy Hessels, maybe not. Adam Delmont. I was poking a bit of fun at Adam last week. Well, during the week for his Turn 1 incident in Race 2 last week, but he's got a qualifying ban at the moment. So he will be starting from the back of the grid for race 1, but it's going to be an exciting one to see how well he comes through. Here's Detige, who is 11th as things stand, and outside of the top 10 is really not where he wants to be, especially as he currently sits 5th in the overall championship. Yeah, Jeremy Hessels is going to start at the back. I can't go to him at the moment because he's not on the circuit. Although he's sat in the pits though, actually. He's probably just sat there for the fun of it, watching them all go by. Dave Cyrus is someone we haven't visited yet. Dave has been very enthusiastic about the series and about getting racing. Kasim goes 3rd. Rashid doing a 2:33.349. Nice lap there by Rashid. But yeah, Dave Cyrus has been properly up for this. He's been doing a great job. He's 20th at the moment. Trying his very hardest. 4th in the AM class. In the purple highlighted XI racing car. There is one of the Meraki racing cars. I think that may have been Lewis Ward just pulling over. As qualifying now is coming to an end. Who is near the end of a lap? Well, I'll tell you who is. Miguel Freitas and Ben Thayens, and even closer than that is Vincent Chaussenet. Just ahead, maybe even Liam Silkstone. Around the final couple of corners then, we'll see them come across the line now. Scott Angelo goes to 26th place. There's Liam. Improves. 22nd for him then, as things stand. Here's Scott Malcolm coming across the line. Ben Thayens goes to 8th. Freitas stays where he is. It's not going to be pole position for Miguel Freitas for the first time in a while. Here's Scott Malcolm out the final corner and across the timing line. He improves a couple of places to 18th with a 2:34.9. Here's Edward May. He's going to be the next car to cross the line. Looks like Andy Hopley's got an off track as well, so I don't think Andy's going to improve his time. I don't think he needs to at the moment unless we see an absolute banger from Edward May. No, he comes in the pits. Khan Newen is going to be the last guy out there, I think. Andy Hopley is still on the circuit, and he's a bit further round than Khan. Looks a bit sedate round there for Andy. Yeah, he's gonna drift it around and have a laugh. He's clearly not going to improve his time, but he's going to be happy to be on pole though. Pole position for Meraki Racing. Awesome stuff. Love it. That wasn't iRacing physics being strange. Don't forget these things are front wheel drive. And Andy's going to be over the moon with that. Really over the moon. Here is Khan Newen then coming to the end of a lap. It's 4.1 seconds, almost 4.2 seconds off the pace at the moment. Can he improve the Swiss driver around the final couple of corners? Straightens it up off the exit of the chicane. Across the line. And it's a 2:37.6, unfortunately not quick enough to bring him higher than 27th. So out of 29 cars that we're going to have tonight, he's going to be the last one in terms of the ones that qualified. So Andy Hopley, pole position for Meraki Racing. He is going to be over the moon with that. Alongside him on the front row is Miguel Freitas. Rashid Kasim and Fraser Smith make a very interesting row too, ahead of Lewis Ward and Gregory Franks in 6th place, with Adam McNally and Ben Thayens making up the 4th row of the grid. Mark Woodhouse is 9th with Lee Deemer in 10th. Great qualifying by Lee. Matthias Detige is 11th with Alex Torres alongside him, the Spanish Inquisition himself. Carl Jacquelet will start 13th alongside Vincent Chaussenet for WRT Esport. Then we have Edward May and Jez Banks with Andy Fox and Scott Malcolm on row 9. Sebastian Denise and Dave Cyrus round out your top 20. Behind them is Craig Jones and Liam Silkstone with Philip Hopley and Ryan Walker. And then the guys at the rear of the field are Dean Timms, Scott Angelo, Khan Newen, who we just saw then, and the guys that didn't qualify, Jeremy Hessels and Adam Delmont. So Spa Francorchamps. There is Andy Hopley. Thumbs up for Andy. Chris Daines joins us in the chat. Good evening, Chris. Good to see you. And hello, Ian, my friend. Hello, Ian. So what a great scrap we're going to have here between these title contenders, of course. Andy Hopley is up there in the championship. Miguel Freitas there has been untouchable recently. So let's see what he can do. Rashid Kassim, of course, starting third on the grid just behind the Meraki car, between the two Meraki cars there as well. It's time to shut the music up, focus on Andy Hopley, and round 11 of the Simracersworld TCR series is go. It's a great launch by Andy off the line. Looks like Miguel's dropped down a little bit. Rashid Kassim's going to come through. Lewis Ward has got past Fraser Smith. They're about 19 wide in the background. We're going to look into the middle of La Source. Oh, Ben Thayens is around and there's a pile-up. The cars have just stopped. Oh, it's flickering around like mad. There's been issues with this recently. There's Dean Timms around as well. Oh, Dean Timms got turned by somebody there. He's completely backwards across the screen. There's Jez Banks. Ben Thayens recovering now with Adam Delmont behind him. Adam Delmont has gained 11 places already. Just trying to see if anybody's off. It looks like a couple of guys are running wide as they go up the hill. Oh, that sounded like contact with somebody, was it? Oh, I really hope it wasn't, because up there it's a nightmare. But for the lead, Miguel Freitas then to the outside of Lewis Ward. Some ducking and darting around in the background. Sorry, not Lewis Ward, it's Andy Hopley, isn't it? I do apologise. Terrible mistake there as a commentator to make. Don't record that, anybody. But Andy defends it well down the inside. And he keeps his lead, although Freitas is going to try it. Rashid Kassim's coming in on this as well. So is Lewis Ward. Andy blocks him. Miguel breaks early. Rashid round the outside. Lewis wants part of this to try and help his teammate out. He's got Fraser Smith right up his chuff, but look at this top 7. Absolutely nose to tail as they come back down the hill towards Pouhon. This is going to be amazing if the race carries on like this. It's going to be shades of Brands Hatch from round 1. In the AM class, Lee Diemer leads the way from Carl Jacquelet, who is right behind him on track. Here they are. Those two are together for that, but I must say we need to stick with this lead battle because Andy Hopley has got all of the main contenders behind him. Fraser Smith doing a great job to stay in there too. Let's hope it's still thumbs up by the end of the race for Andy then. It's so close between a lot of them. Everyone just playing it safe at the moment. Adam McNally is at the back of this, and this is all you can see. It's all aboard the Audi train. It's the Audi Centipede. It's back out to play. And now the high-speed section of the circuit down towards Blanchimont is where things are going to get interesting. Looks like Dean Timms really did lose out at the beginning. He's unfortunately dropped right to the back of the order. Let's go on board with Freitas. This is what the view looks like in the battle for the lead. It's all about smooth inputs at this stage of the race. Everyone's registering time that they're in the pit lane, apparently. They're running that wide at Blanchimont. Nice little glitch in the system there. But still, they stay line astern for now. Behind this top 7, of course, is Lee Diemer, with another train just behind him. Vincent Charsonnet's in there as well. Scott Malcolm has Dave Cyrus behind him. Oh, it looks like Mark Woodhouse has had an issue, so's Carl Newen. Oh, wow, humongous contact in the background there. There's wheels everywhere. Unbelievably big accident. Wow, what happened there? Oh, there's contact in front. Andy Fox involved there, I think. We're going to have to go back to even that as well. Oh, there's contact with Philip Hopley and Andy Fox. Oh, into them goes the Simtech car. Wow, the Year 1 machine gets involved as well, and Sebastian Denise gets in that too. That was a humongous accident. Absolutely huge crash. Luckily, it's only sim racing, and nobody got hurt there, because that was monstrous. But Rashid Kassim has gone past Miguel Freitas, by the way, to take 2nd place. And we need to have a look at this then, do we? This is out of turn 1, so Hopley's gone miles wide. Side by side is Lewis Ward and Miguel Freitas and Rashid Kassim. Rashid's got a better run down the straight. Yeah, that would have definitely been injuries. And wow, look at the commitment of Rashid there, and he's got a better line out of Radion and gets the run. So Hopley running free at the minute, or so he hopes. But Freitas has got, well, I would have said he's got to defend like mad, but Lewis Ward and Adam McNally are the ones side by side now as Fraser Smith has come through. Bit of contact there, a bit unnecessary from McNally and Ward. They don't need to make contact down to Pouhon. McNally runs a bit wide. He's got Gregory Vranks pushing him along almost now. Lee Diemer and Carl Jacquelet behind that as well. They've got to think about their AM championships before they get involved. Although I say that, Lee Diemer sends it up the inside of Gregory Vranks. These boys don't care, honestly. Although every position just counts towards the championship. Just because you finish top of the AM class doesn't mean that you have the same amount of points as winning the race in the pro class. So any position is a bigger advantage for these guys. And yeah, that's a very good point actually. Jeremy Hessels is already in 17th place, so is Adam Delmont. Those boys started at the back of the grid, and here they are actually battling it out. One headlight missing each, nearly a bit of contact. Oh, it was Lee Deemer. Oh, Lee Deemer's around in the middle of the straight. He's been, oh, that was just flat out there from, I think that was Vincent Chaussenet. Lee Deemer is out of the race. And that's massive for the AM Championship at the moment. I don't know what caused it. Let's have a look. Oh, he just turns across the front of Jacqueline. Now I say that, I take it back for a moment. Let's just have a quick, let's just have a look back. Yeah, he does turn across him. But Vincent Chaussenet, he didn't really have anywhere to go, but it didn't even look like he slowed down. Scott Malcolm tried to get out of it, put himself in the wall, and then made contact. That's two massive accidents down there, but Andy Hopley, he's going to be loving this at the front at the moment. Leading the way, just in the background of all this. Lewis Ward and Adam McNally still very close together. This top 7 has dispersed slightly. Yeah, it is a good point system, isn't it, Stephen? No reason to back out of a battle if an AM and a pro are in a fight, and that is just how we want it. And of course, Carl Jacqueline now is leading the AM class in this race. Scott Malcolm has apparently just gone off the track again. I think, oh, he ran wide. Oh, is that a wing mirror? There's a wing mirror going down Radion. Scott's got quite a lot of damage on his car. Oh, it looks like he went off for quite a moment, actually. Let's have a look. Oh, he's going slow down the hill. Oh, Jez gives him a bit of a kiss there and into the wall. And he's got a very crumpled chrome car now as Delmont and Detige are having a scrap here with Jeremy Hessels a bit further down the order. And Detige really not giving up there. Says to Delmont, you hang it round the outside, son, see what I try. But yeah, the WRT guys getting involved again in incidents. Both of them out of the race by the look of it, Vincent Chaussenet and Sebastian Denise. Ryan Walker's just gone past Scott Malcolm, who's trying to drag the car home, it seems. Car new in there going through into 21st place. But back up at the front, Kasim could be the saving grace for Andy Hopley here. We're 7 minutes into the race. Kasim is trying his best to defend from Freitas, who somehow has pried the door open there, and I don't know how he did that. He's really putting the pressure on Rashid here. Although the Rashid has got the slipstream off Andy in front. Manages to carry the speed really well. Some fantastic racing at the front of the field. Lewis Ward and Adam McNally have also swapped places again. Into the bus stop once more. Gregory Vranks just watching there in the wings. And Edward May, let's not forget Edward, he's doing a good job at the moment in 8th position overall. He's got the AM class leader Carl Jacqueline just behind him. And then it's Alex Torres, the Spanish Inquisition himself, ahead of Dave Cyrus and Craig Jones. Fastest lap of the race for Fraser Smith. He's got full send written on the side of the car, and he means it, trust me. It goes back down towards Eau Rouge again then. Really hugging the wall, almost hitting the wall down the straight there. Doesn't quite have the slipstream off the guys in front at the moment. He's going to be hoping for that soon. Here's the Lewis Ward and Adam McNally battle. It's only going to get closer and closer. And you say, Anton, you say that they're unlucky there, but you know there might not have been much room for him to go anywhere. But you know we didn't see many brake lights, did we? Drivers have to be aware of these incidents. You can't just power through them and expect the incident to get out of the way for you. You need to slow it down. I've seen a lot of league racing in my time on iRacing, and there's very often incidents where drivers just think, oh great, free positions, and they keep their foot planted. The front battle is getting very, very tasty here. This is the gearbox camera of Andy Hopley. Oh, there goes Rashid Kasim. And that is not going to install much confidence in the drivers around him, because there he is. It is difficult to race someone when the connection does that. We've noticed Rashid's connection does it a little bit. It's only a couple of times a race. And the slipstream is worth quite a lot, to be honest. Oh, as Rashid misses the apex a little bit there. Miguel's going to be right on him in a minute. And if Fraser can keep his pace up around the middle of the lap, once he gets the slipstream again, he could be right in this battle, you're right. Just behind as well, of course. Look at this, Lewis Ward. McNally is glued to the back of that car. Let's have a look at what the slipstream's like here then, shall we? On board with Lewis Ward. McNally chasing. McNally only gains a little bit of time by the look of it. Through Blanchimont, car bouncing around a little bit on the curbs. Looks great, the front of that Excite Energy car, doesn't it? They've painted it in such a way that makes the front end look so exaggerated, and well, it's very exaggerated right now as it almost hits the back of Lewis Ward. Kasim still holding on at the front. Oh, Ben Thanes has gone down the inside of Dave Cyrus into the bus stop. Fastest lap of the race again for Fraser Smith. Doing an awesome job, and are we going to see Craig Jones try and make a move here on Dave Cyrus for 12th place? Dave compromised his line through the bus stop. Craig pulls out the slipstream, looks down the inside, onto the brakes into La Source. He has the tighter line, of course, but it means that he might not be able to carry the speed on exit. They're still side by side. Although Dave manages to keep the car in front, actually. That was a bit of a trick of the camera there, wasn't it? Behind is a great battle as well. Jeremy Hessel's chasing Adam Delmont with Matthias de Tige and Liam Silkstone in there too. Back to the front. The slipstreaming battle continues. Wow, Miguel Freitas puts it down the inside. Rashid Kassim is not scared. I do not care for your games, he says. Just behind as well, Lewis Ward still holding off Adam McNally. Another great scrap between these guys. They've been awesome to watch all season. Here is Delmont and Hessels still going at it as well. I do apologise if... oh, it doesn't... I thought Delmont was going to clip the grass then and the car might have gone around. De Tige trying to get in on this as well. He's managed to hold on to it, although he's on the outside now, so he's on the compromised line. This is so, so close. Oh, Dean joins us in the chat as de Tige holds off Delmont, or does he? Delmont coming back at him again. This is oh so close between these guys, I love it. Back down the inside. Delmont into Pouon. No contact still, makes it through. Gonna look back at this because Ward has really got to worry about McNally now. He can't make any progress forward because he's going to try and defend this position with Gregory Franks putting pressure on as well. And you've probably just seen it at the top of our shot. But Freitas is all over Kassim as well. Rashid's doing a great job. Now Freitas aggressively pulls out of the slipstream. They're going to be side by side. Who has the bigger man fruits when it comes to Blanchimont? Oh, he's disappeared as Rashid. Miguel's got to just trust that he's not there. There is Kassim. I'll tell you what, that's one way of doing it. As Miguel goes back down the inside, loses the rear slightly on the brakes. I hope there's not contact. Does well to get it stopped. Tries to get the cutback as well, actually. He's going to get a really good run out of there. Surely he's going to get it done. Although, oh, Dave Cyrus has crashed. Dave Cyrus has gone off. Oh, what's happened here? A bit of contact with Craig Jones. Craig muscling him out a bit. Side by side up towards Blanchimont. This is not a place where you want to have an accident. Dave goes across. Oh, it turns across the front. And that's a big hit into the wall for Dave Cyrus. Wing mirror goes on a absolute skating rink along the barrier and into the wall and out of the race. That was a year one car there on a bit of an angle. Is that Dean Timms? Anyway, Andy Hopley is way out in front now because of this battle behind him. Miguel Freitas did get the move done. I do apologise for missing that. Here he goes down the straight. He's probably going to carry the speed around the outside here. We're on 28 viewers at the moment, by the way. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us on another fantastic Tuesday night for some awesome racing. And yes, Miguel just carries the speed and does a nice job on the exit. McNally, in the meantime, has got ahead of Lewis Ward, too. Oh, Scott Angelo has apparently had an accident. Oh, wow, that's a very broken car indeed for Scott Angelo. Not surprised he's had an accident driving that around. That's not a happy car, the front bumper hanging off it. Yeah, it's not a happy machine, is it? No, he's pulled it over at the side of the circuit. So there's your race leader then, Andy Hopley. Still sort of running away with it. Rashid Kassim is now under pressure from Fraser Smith, just behind. As Miguel Freitas goes in chase of Andy Hopley for the lead. Now with 10 minutes of the race to go, do we think he could do it? Do we think Miguel could get it done? Oh, just further down the order as well, Craig Jones and Matthias de Tiege have swapped places. I think Matthias is having a bit of an issue at the moment. Oh, Craig's run wide. Matthias goes through, so does Silkstone. And Jez Banks as well, they all sneak through. And Fraser Smith and Rashid Kasimov in this battle too. And through he goes in the bus stop. Rashid still tucked up right behind him, so is McNally, Ward and Franks. Gregory Franks doing a good job at holding on to these lot at the moment. He's just going to be happy to finish in 7th and get some points. And he and his right tyres will play a big part. Has Miguel not used his, or has Andy pushed his too hard? We shall soon see, shan't we? We shall soon see. Jack Collette leading the AM class at the moment. There he is, sorry. Ben Thaynes was just behind him there. Second in the AM class is actually Liam Silkstone at the moment. Quite a few places back. Third in the AM class is Craig Jones there, just behind him. So they're the guys for your AM podium at the moment. And just in case you're not sure what I'm on about, the top of your screen you'll see now 2 coloured boxes. The green strips on the left hand side are the pro drivers, and the ones in blue are the AMs. Now here's McNally trying to attack Matthias de Tiege. Looks like he's got a bit late on the brakes there. Still side by side. Oh, a tiny bit of contact. Lewis Ward is never going to say... Well, he's not going to say no, is he? Through he goes. And Rashid is going backwards here. Gregory Franks goes around the outside as well. Beautiful opportunistic stuff from Gregory. On the brakes a little bit later. Gets it through. Oh, Ben Thaynes has apparently crashed. You can see him lit up in red on the left-hand side there. What has happened to Ben Thaynes? In the Rev match car, just in front of him there is number 242. That's Carl Jacquelet. What's happened to Ben? Oh, wow, okay. That looked like some sort of wheel failure there. The car just carried on turning left and went full pelt into the wall. Jeremy Hessels and Adam Delmont still at it, a bit further down the order. And yeah, Miguel is incredible, honestly. He's absolutely incredible in this car. And here is proof of how quick he is. He's won the last 6 races in a row in this championship. It'd be a shame for Andy not to get the win here and stop that streak, but you've got to think that Miguel will get the job done with the pace that he's had in this championship. He's the championship leader, of course, as well. Just under 7 minutes to go. And good evening, Jack. Good to see you, mate. Almost 30 viewers at the moment. Don't forget, everybody, give the video a like. Do subscribe to Simracersworld TV. You will have me, Chaz Draycott, bringing you a lot of broadcasts on this channel. More to come in future as well. Let's just have a little look back to this battle as well. Smith, Freitas, Hopley. Sorry, McNally. For some reason I read the timing tower upwards there. But these guys are really stuck together. Rashid Kasim has dropped off the back of it a little bit. Let's go on board with Lewis Ward. I know his fan club will love this. Down through Eau Rouge, up the hill, over Radion. And wow, McNally got a heck of a run there. And ahead of them, what's Freitas doing? Here he goes. Down the inside, into Les Combes. There's not really a lot Andy Hopley can do now. Freitas has put his car in the optimum place. And Miguel Freitas, textbook manoeuvre through into the race lead. And look at that, he's half a second in front already now. He's gained a big gap there. McNally has gone past Fraser, but Fraser's not taking it lying down. Ian reckons one of Rashid's tyres has gone off, and I reckon you're right there, mate. Lewis Ward holding on. Fraser Smith makes it back through. Great move. Into No Name Corner, down the hill. So close together, these boys. They've done some fantastic racing all season, and this is more of it. Of course, no Conor Parisi tonight. Oh, Fraser gets a little bit of a slide there. Still manages to make the apex at P1. Those boys really testing one another at the moment. Just having a little look down the order. Mark Woodhouse here is struggling to get through past Ryan Walker with his damaged car. Matthias de Tige has Jez Banks, Liam Silkstone and Craig Jones behind him. So a couple of little battles going on further down the order. Carl Jacquelette's still leading the AM class, but this is going to be an important part of the lap for Fraser Smith. You can see just in the background there that Andy Hopley is losing out to Miguel Freitas. Oh, apparently Craig Jones has crashed. Just as we cut away from him. What has happened here to Craig Jones? Not sure what could have happened. Is he going to clip the grass on the right hand side? No, not quite. Oh, he clips the back of the car in front though and stops it on the spot. He does get out of the way though. Very responsible of him there to move the car. Now McNally and Lewis Ward are side by side as they go across the line. We've still got 4.25 minutes of this race to go. Fraser Smith's livery does look nice, doesn't it actually, Chris? As he runs wide there, and I think McNally's going to go through. They're going to be side by side down to Eau Rouge at least. Lewis Ward is ready to pounce though. He wants something to kick off in front of him. Fraser Smith turns in. Wow, that was, I'm not going to say the word. We don't say that word on iRacing broadcasts, but there you go. Lewis Ward is going to pounce and through he is going to go. Wow, that was exaggerated to say the least, wasn't it? It's so frustrating when stuff like that happens in these battles. Here we go in slow-mo. Ready? Oh, that's the wonderful feat of online racing, I'm afraid. Oh, we're going to have to click that again, sorry. But Fraser Smith is still in touch with Kasim. And Ward has now gone past McNally, who has Gregory Vranks pressuring him. Just behind. But that was a really good save by Fraser Smith. He's lucky it didn't go in a wall, to be honest. Did a great job. Jeremy Hessels, Edward May and Adam Delmont. I tell you what, I'm going to get some wedding rings for Hessels and Delmont. These guys are inseparable at the moment in this race. They've both come through from the back of the field. Hessels has gained 18 places. Delmont has now, if he makes this stick on May, and he may make it 19 places. Still side by side as they go into No Name Corner. This is great racing. All of the white, black and grey and green cars with the odd blue highlight as well. Carl Newen's gone off the circuit. Apparently Edward May has crashed actually, so he's lost a bit of ground back to these boys here. That's why he's stuck with them. Delmont trying to go around the outside. Hessels is praying for that so he can get away. And here is Fraser Smith and Rashid Kasim. Actually, we're going to go back to that. Edward May sent Delmont on an absolute mission there. Delmont went very wide. He's gone wide again. They make a bit of contact. Not sure if that's going to give either of them suspension damage. Yeah, who's the bride between Hessels and Delmont? We'll let the guys in the Facebook group discuss that one. De Tige is trying to come through here as well. He's making his way back up. I do have to look at this though. Kasim and Smith are so close together. These boys started right near the front of the field. Oh, Fraser's gone deep, but what a job he's done of getting that stopped. Rashid doesn't even bother putting his nose down the inside. I'm not having that, son. Great work by Fraser Smith there to get back ahead. Lewis Ward is currently in third place with two of the Meraki cars on the podium. And yes, Jacquelette is top in the AM class. He's doing a great job after Lee Deemer had that massive accident at the start of the race. We've lost 7 cars from this race so far. The closest 2 cars on the track are still Adam Delmont and Edward May, with De Tige, Banks and Silkstone behind them. Some awesome racing going on. And just coming back out on track there, is that Dave Cyrus? It is. Dave Cyrus comes out in the middle of this lot to come and say hello. Oh, tries to get out of the way and kisses the wall a bit. There's his teammate going through. Ben Thayens is on the same lap as him. Oh, no, he's not actually. He's in the pit lane out of the race by the look of it, because he had his hardware failure, didn't he? And you know what? Hopley has retaken the lead here. I think he did this. Oh, wow. Okay, so apparently he must have done that down the straight or something. Something's gone on here. Here we go. He has done it down the straight. Miguel making sure he defends the inside a bit. And he's going to go round the outside. Gets a great run. He's late on the brakes. major run around the outside, and then of course he's got the inside. Oh, Miguel gets out of it to avoid the contact, to be fair, but makes it through. What a fantastic move by Andy Hopley, and he's still in the lead now. Alex Torres is into 8th position in this race. He's on his own a little bit now. He's got 8 seconds behind him and 5 seconds in front of him. But the battle for the lead still raging on here. Andy Hopley back in the lead. And this will be the final lap as well. Miguel puts his nose down the inside, has to back out of it. Andy really defending hard now, and I think that might have given him the gap he needs, you know. This is going to be the final lap of the race. And they say you can lead all the laps in a race, but as long as you lead the most important one, that's what matters, and Andy is doing that right now. Is this going to be the first win for any other driver than Miguel Freitas in seven races? Yes, 7 races. Into the bus stop for the final time then. The Meraki car going for it. Miguel's gone way too deep into the final corner. Miguel Freitas goes on an absolute mission, but Andy Hopley, clap emojis in chat. Andy takes the race win in the Simracersworld TCR series, and it's a 1-2 for Meraki. Lewis Ward 2nd, Adam McNally 3rd, Gregory Franks in 4th, and Miguel Freitas risked it all, and he's got to get rid of a slowdown penalty. Fraser Smith and Rashid Kassim go through. But Andy Hopley, ladies and gentlemen, wins the race for Meraki Racing. Lewis Ward, his teammate, 2nd. Fantastic 1-2 result. And the spell has been broken. But Miguel Freitas, another amazing race by him, but he's going to be gutted he didn't make that work at the end. A lot of these guys have just finished as well. You can see the chaos as they all pull the cars over at the end. I'm sorry for missing some of these guys finishing. McNally, another podium for him. He'll be happy with that. But yes, please, plenty of clap emojis in chat for Andy Hopley. That was awesome. Awesome drive, and he got it done right at the end. I thought that we were going to see Miguel just drive away with that. I really did. But it's not the case. And what a great finish indeed for him. Oh, there's a bit of contact there after the line between Smith and McNally. Kassim in there as well. We're just seeing if there's anyone else to cross the line. Lee Deemer has crossed the line. Khan Newen also has. Scott Malcolm is halfway round a lap, apparently. Sebastian Denise there we just saw pulling over. I think Vincent Chaussenet, yes, is the last car to cross the line after he got back going again. Through the final corner he goes to take 26th position in this race. But what an awesome first race at Spa Francorchamps. Plenty of exciting racing. 2 very large accidents near the beginning though. Of course, like I said before, we can be thankful that it's sim racing and not real racing, because they're, as horrible as it may seem to say, that would not have been an incident without an injury. It was a humongous accident. But some great racing once again. A very deserving winner. And Meraki Racing get a 1-2. At Spa Francorchamps. Just waiting for the session to be concluded. Not quite sure what we're waiting for. I think it is actually waiting for Scott Malcolm to cross the line, yeah. So Scott gets his airtime with his crumpled chrome car. There he goes, the number 74 machine. And yes, indeed, we were waiting for that, apparently. So, here are your race results then. Andy Hopley takes the win ahead of Lewis Ward, his teammate, with Adam McNally rounding out your podium. Then we have Gregory Franks in 4th, Fraser Smith in 5th, Rashid Kassim in 6th, and Miguel Freitas 7th place. That's actually his worst finish of the season, because before now, his lowest position finish was 2nd. Alex Torres finishes in 8th after a bit of a lonely drive for him. Carl Jacquelet wins the AM class quite considerably there in 9th, with Jeremy Hessels coming through to 10th. After starting at the back of the grid. Same with Adam Delmont, 18 places gained for each of them as well. What a fantastic drive they both put in. Matthias de Tige finishes in 12th ahead of Edward May, 13th, and his teammate Jez Banks in 14th, with Liam Silkstone 2nd in the AM class there in 15th ahead of Ryan Walker, who gets an AM class podium. Very well done to Ryan for Nomad Sim Racing. Mark Woodhouse finishes 17th after quite a disappointing race for him after an incident early on. Craig Jones is 18th in the first race of the night. Lee Deemer is 19th, and then Khan Newen rounds up top 20. Scott Malcolm is the last car on the lead lap, 2.5 minutes down, with Andy Fox 2 laps down. Sebastian Denise also 2 laps down, with Ben Thanes, Dave Cyrus, Vincent Chalsonet, Scott Angelo and Philip Hopley rounding out the field. Now that was an amazing first race of the night. And don't forget, we have another one coming up for you in about 10 minutes time. So please do stick around. And I, Chaz Draycott, will be back with you in a few minutes. We'll run a few adverts for you, come back to the usual slideshow that we put on. I'll be back with you in a little bit. Don't go away.
Like two fires, movement so graceful. Wildcat in the jungle with dangerous claws. Movement she anticipates, a sight is set on her prey. Like stars in the darkest night, crystallize, fascinate. If you wanna stay alive, if you don't wanna be her prey, don't stand in her way. Run, run, run away. Crystallize, 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 watching her prey. Crystallize.
Welcome back everybody, we're just loading into the second session right now and we will have another race for you this evening. How are we all finding it so far? Are we all enjoying ourselves? That was an absolutely epic first race. Great to see Andy Hopley get a win, very chuffed for him, and an awesome chase all the same by Miguel Freitas. And I tell you what, I can't wait for this second one. So, just loading in like I say, a couple more minutes, I'll be back with you.
Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive. Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive. From the dust we will awaken, and life will fill our veins. But these are the moments that we live for. I can keep it inside of me. Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive.
Okay, here we are then, race 2 of the evening. We're back in at Spa Francorchamps. There we go. Carl Jacquelet, of course, won the AM class in race 1. You can see here it's 69% humidity, so it's a very humid circuit for the second race. Only 19 degrees air temp though, so it's not going to be too hot for them out there. Scott Malcolm had a bit of a nightmare in the first one with quite a damaged car towards the end of the race, so fingers crossed for him, things get better tonight. But Andy Hopley, Andy, Princess Andrew, as I've been calling him, wins a race in the series. And he's going to be very happy with that. Someone that won't be so happy is Lee Deemer, who's going to really have to fight for this AM championship now. Especially with Carl Jacquelet getting so many points in that one. Here's Scott Angelo, the privateer. He had a large crash in the first race as well. Eventually pulled the car over towards the end of the race. Only got a few minutes of the practice session left to go. It does say there's been 25 minutes, but obviously that's not true. It does get opened up as such as a session pretty much straight away after the first one. So just a couple of seconds to go. Mark Woodhouse will be hoping for a better result in this one. He had a bit of a nightmare in race 1 with an incident at the very start with drivers getting caught up in that. So fingers crossed for him, it gets a bit better this time round. Who else have we got? Alex Torres and Adam Delmont were out on track there as well. And don't forget how this series works. We've got another qualifying session now, so plenty of action for these guys as they all pour out of the pit lane. Who's going to be the first car out? Who's going to be the first car out? It's Gregory Franks, number 99, for Simracersworld Esports TCR. Really intrigued to see what Gregory can do after such a great race 1 as well. He's going to be very happy with his result in that one. All the cars make their way round then. Fraser Smith said in chat a moment ago, even though things don't go his way, he loves the TCR, so it's good to see that these guys are getting enjoyment out of it, even though they're not winning races. Of course, Miguel Freitas has won plenty of them this season, so I'm sure he won't mind letting 1 or 2 go amiss. And you know what, I'm trying to look for Andy Hopley. I can't see him on track in this second one. Ah, that's why. There he is. There's always one car that just disappears at the bottom of my timing screen, just behind all my camera controls and everything, and typically, in this situation, it was Andy. And of course, his teammate Lewis Ward, who you can see on screen there, finished second in that one. All the yellow and blue cars doing all of the weaving down the back straight. And that is Alex Torres in the middle of the two of them for Tent Factory Sim Racers. Alex has been very quick this season. Didn't set the world alight in that last one, but fingers crossed he has a better result this time around. Vincent Chaussenet and his teammate Sebastian Denise both got caught up in those humongous incidents towards the end of a lap in race 1, and fingers crossed we don't see any more of that. So it's going to be Gregory Franks that's the first car to get onto a lap then by the look of it. Here he is around the final couple of corners going towards Blanchimont. Got to be so careful around there, even in these cars. It's very easy to lose the rear end. Across the line then goes Gregory to start his race. Down the straight down towards Eau Rouge. Trying to take all the curb up there. Really pushing it is Gregory. There's a car on track in front of him there. I think that's Liam Silkstone. No, it can't be actually. That's Lee Deemer. Just in front, just getting out of the way there. There's a nice train of cars behind there, led by Miguel Freitas. He's got Scott Malcolm and I think Matthias de Tige behind him, then Adam Delmont. And it's either Dean Timms. It's not Dean Timms, it's Carl Jacquelet. In the other Year 1 racing car, in the middle of this, with Jez Banks just behind him. So as you can imagine, the timing screen on my left-hand side is going absolutely nuts at the moment with personal bests, because everyone doing their first laps, and Scott Malcolm, it looks like here, has got slightly in the way of Matthias de Tige, and de Tige wants through, and it's not going to happen. Scott goes wide, but he hasn't yielded. He must have got an off track for that, and he's not letting Matthias continue with his lap. Not sure whether that counts as hindering someone's qualifying performance, but I'm sure neither of them will be happy about it. Delmont, of course, behind them now, doesn't have a ban from qualifying for this one, so he wants to get through smoothly here and not get caught up in this little battle in front of him, which shouldn't really be happening in qualifying, let's face it. Oh, Scott's off on the left-hand side. Now Adam's going to get some good slipstream here, but really Scott should have yielded once he'd gone off, even if Matthias caused him going wide by being on the inside. Scott really should have got out of the way there, in my opinion. I mean, everyone may agree, may disagree. Delmont's had to get out of his lap now as well. Jez Banks carries on through. I'm not sure whether he's going to get his lap in. Oh, Scott's had a bit of a slide there into the bus stop as well. Across line then, Vrank's first car to set a time, 2:34.5. Freitas 2:33.7, 3/4 of a second quicker. See whether Jez Banks' time was hurt or not. Dettige goes back down the inside of Scott, and Dettige thinks better of it and backs out. Thinks there's no point fighting in qualifying. Oh, he tries to get out of the way, Rashid Kassim. I don't think he realised he was that close. There's Ryan Walker, who's just gone past as well. He's at the back of that queue now. And Scott is still going for it with having Jez Banks behind him. There's quite a train of cars. I think Rashid weaving around. I'm not sure whether that's in protest or what. Jez goes down the inside. There's quite a lot of battling going on in qualifying here. Not really sure that's the way to do it, boys. Vincent Chassenet sits fourth at the moment, just 0.8 of a second off, only 0.003 of a second faster than Mark Woodhouse here. See, these guys are all nice and spread out. They've got the right idea. And there's Dean Timms in the Year 1 racing car, which you cannot miss. It's very, very bright, and the whole car is matte as well. Like very matte. Almost like no shadows get casted on it at all. Sebastian Denise is just on his way out of the pit lane. There is a wall in the way. There he goes. Rashid Kassim also on track, of course, we saw a moment ago. He had a great race one. Unfortunately fell off a little bit towards the end. And has Adam Delmont got any more luck at the moment? He's still caught behind this lot. Scott Malcolm and Jez Banks. But he might just be hoping that he's got enough room to get some slipstream off these boys. Looks like he's a bit quicker than Jez in front of him. We know Adam is quick. Yeah, see Jez getting out of his way there, nice and courteous. Adam takes a late apex though, he's gone wide, that's surely an off track. Yeah, he gets out of the way there of Jacqueline. He goes through to complete his lap now. A couple of corners to go. Through Blanchimont. Doesn't use all the curb, he's just playing it safe at the minute, I think. We should see some more times on the board now. These guys are going to actually be starting their last laps already. Fraser Smith goes top. Vranks goes second, 2:33.67. Fraser Smith, 2:33.497. Great lap from him. Of course, the laps that they're going on to now, though, will be their last. Jacqueline, top of the AM class, 2:35.1 for him. Jones is 9th. Banks there goes into 11th, of course, 2:42. He did back out of that lap. Vincent Chassenet goes 5th, Ben Thayens goes 2nd. I think we're going to see a really interesting grid here, you know. Because the pressure's really on here. Mark Woodhouse, 2:33.4, just takes pole off Fraser Smith for now. McNally goes up into 7th place. Dave Cyrus is just crossing the line now. A couple of these guys are getting banker laps in, but they're... there we go, there's the timing tower. Lewis Ward goes into 8th place. The Meraki car's crossing the line. Hopley's gone top. Andy Hopley has put it on pole, 2:33.2. Temporarily, that is. We have to keep our eye on Miguel Freitas, who is halfway round at the moment. Alex Torres is in 7th behind him. Jacqueline and Demet still the top AMs as well. Half a second between those guys. But only 15 cars have got laps in at the moment. There's another 13 cars that haven't put times in. So the battle is really on. We're going to stay with Freitas and just keep our eye on the timing tower, because I'm pretty confident that not many of these drivers anyway will get more laps in. All the battling and stuff that Scott and the guys were doing before will not have helped them. All they've done is limit the amount of time they've got to qualify. Smith and Thanes are out of the session now. And yeah, Chris, you're right. Hopefully Andy can tow Lewis around and give him some slipstream. Woodhouse is sitting pretty in second at the moment, though. He's doing a good job. Much better than race 1. Miguel looks very smooth at the moment, though, doesn't he? There is the end of the session, then. Who's near the end of a lap? Don't think anyone is actually closer to ending a lap than Freitas, and yeah, that's true. So everyone is going to be behind Miguel at this point. We'll go on the, we'll show the track map with the car numbers. So Jacqueline is one of them. So here is Freitas then across the line. What is he going to do? Oh, he goes top 232.9. Amazing stuff. Absolutely awesome. Jacqueline goes 8th, 234.0. Delmont and Detige 5th and 7th. Jacqueline 234. Really good lap for him. Bang on the dot. Vincent Chastanet doesn't improve. Andy Fox goes into 15th position. Here's Alex Torres. He's coming towards the end of his lap. But half a second separating the top 3, and then a second, just over a second. Oh, McNally goes into 9th. There you go. A second separates the top 10. Dean Timms goes into 18th place, 236.1. Scott Angelo just behind him now in 19th. There's 2 Team Mad cars in the top 3. Alex doesn't get a good run there. Dima can't beat Jacqueline this time round. And Lewis Ward goes 3rd. Great lap. Torres goes 8th. So it's 2 Team Mad cars and 2 Meraki cars in the top 4. They'll be very happy with that. I think that was Craig Jones. Here it is, just in the background, crossing the line. Where's he go? 17th. And it looks like he stayed there. Carl Newen is going to be the last. Oh, well, he's not. I was going to say he's going to be the last car on a lap, but it seems like that's all we've got. Craig Jones still on the circuit, apparently. But that'll be that then. And now the session just ticks over for a second. We will have a grid in a moment. But this is really, really looking like it's going to be a smashing race once again. I'm certainly very excited for it. Miguel Freitas, though, 232.9. Well, we were hoping for a sub 233, and that's exactly what we've got. So put your bets on, everyone in chat. We've got 30 people watching. Thank you, everybody, for popping in. Please do remember to like the video. Make sure that you subscribe to Simracersworld TV to see more of this and more of me, of course. I'm going to be doing a lot of broadcasts for them very, very soon. If you do want to look me up on social media, selfless little, shameless little plug here. It's Chaslington or Chaz Draycott. And we're just waiting for this session to tick over. It's still not done it. For some reason. It's a bit strange, isn't it? The Simracersworld Esports TCR cars are together on the same row of the grid as well. It's the Portuguese Miguel Freitas and then 5 British drivers and then the Belgians and the Spaniards chasing him down. We do have a very international grid. I'm just seeing now. So Edward May and Jeremy Hessels, because they have their cars pretty much sat there in the pit lane, it's actually making the session count all the way down. And because it's a long lap here as well, it runs to a timer at the end. So it basically means that everyone has the longest amount of possible time to get a lap in. And yeah, Stephen DeWolf says it right as well. To get the hot spot in their lap. It's actually Ben Thanes that's causing the session to go over, because it's counted as him being in the pits, actually. I'm not sure. He's not in the car, but it seems to be doing that anyway. It's one of the wonderful little features of iRacing, I suppose. Ah, there we go. Okay, it says session finished now, not finishing. And there we are. Miguel Freitas then takes pole position from Andy Hopley, the 2 battlers from race 1, with Lewis Ward and Mark Woodhouse on row 2. Fraser Smith and Adam Delmont make up the 3rd row of the grid. And then we have Ben Thanes and Alex Torres, Matthias Detige and Gregory Vranks, teammates on row 5, ahead of Adam McNally and Carl Jacqueline leading the AM class. Then we have Vincent Chastanet, Scott Malcolm, Lee Diemer and Andy Fox, 2nd and 3rd in AM. And it's Craig Jones and Dean Timms on row 9, with Scott Angelo and Jez Banks on the 10th row. Then it's Jeremy Hessels, Carl Newen, Edward May and Sebastian Denise. And at the back of the grid is Rashid Kassim. He's got a lot of work to do. Ryan Walker, Dave Cyrus, Liam Silkstone, and Philip Hopley. So this is going to be another exciting race for us here. Miguel Freitas, pole position. And he's got all of the defending to do here. And there he is. Fantastic grid of cars. I've said this before, but I do love the fact that if you look carefully, the cars aren't all exactly straight lined behind each other. They are dotted about slightly. Nice that iRacing does that to make it look very realistic. We're just waiting for one more driver on the grid, and that is going to be Fraser Smith, who is going to pop over on this side of the grid, over here. You'll see him just in front of Ben Thayen's white car there. But let's get your bets in now, shall we? It's going to be another belter, of course. Round 12 of the championship. And there he is then. There is Fraser Smith. And it gives me great pleasure then to tell you that round 12 of the Simortal Simracersworld TCR series from Spa Francorchamps is away. It's a good launch for Carl Jacquelet in the middle of the field there by the look of it. He's going to have to go over to the left-hand side of the circuit. Miguel Freitas blocks it off nicely. They're about 4 or 5 wide in the middle here. No such incident like we saw in race 1 there. Mark Woodhouse and Ben Thayens were responsible for that last time. And it looks like, you know, I don't want to jinx it, but everyone's got through fine. Liam Silkstone's lost 10 places, apparently. Ah, that's in class, I do apologise. Jez Banks and Jeremy Hessel swapping places in the middle there. But at the front then, it's Miguel Freitas. Very close-up shot there of Miguel's car. Leading the way, Adam Delmont running wide. Oh, apparently Delmont's off. Delmont is off. Properly in the wall. Not sure whether he's had contact or anything. I'm hoping this speeds up so we don't miss anything, but Delmont apparently, in inverted commas, crashed, which means he went under a certain amount of speed. Oh, I don't know what. Oh, wow, okay. I really don't know what happened there to Adam Delmont, but the car has gone straight on, disappeared. For the lead then, Hopley trying to go around the outside of Freitas. He's had it already. You just got to hope that he doesn't use his tyres. Looks like Edward May has had a nightmare. Mark Woodhouse has dropped down. Mark Woodhouse has gone completely off. Jeremy Hessels has also apparently had an accident. Here's Jeremy then with Jez Banks and Edward May behind him. Oh, they're 3 wide in front as well. Oh, this isn't going to squeeze up, is it? There's going to be contact, boys. Oh, wow, Jeremy goes way too deep into the chicane. Oh, and he clips one of the Fury Simsport cars as well. And Mark Woodhouse is off on his own. I don't know whether he had contact as well. But it's an absolute nightmare. Nightmare up front for those guys. Miguel Freitas still leading the race then. He has got a nice gap over Andy Hopley now. Adam McNally up 7 places to 4th at the moment. What a fantastic drive he's having. And then Ben Thayens has got this rabble chasing him down, led by Alex Torres, and it's Matthias Detige, Gregory Franks, Carl Jacquelet, 9th place overall. Biggest mover in the field is actually tied between Liam Silkstone, Rashid Kassim and Adam McNally, all 7 places gained at the moment. And yes, you're right, Lewis Ward has gone off too. I'm sorry I've missed that. There's so much going on my timing screen, I tell you. It's properly kicking off over here. Just trying to find Lewis Ward at the moment. He's really dropped down, hasn't he? He's dropped down to 12th position. Side by side there, although not quite an overlap for Torres. Scott Malcolm looks to be making a move there on Lee Deemer. Lee loses the rear end a little bit on the brakes. Scott is all over the shop, and through goes Lewis Ward. Takes advantage. And that was Deemer going past Jacquelet there for the AM class lead as well. So Scott influencing that slightly, I think, going into the first corner. And it must have been, yeah, Lewis and Mark. We will come back and look at that. I do apologise for missing it. I'm trying to look up and down the order as best I can as Hopley and Freitas swap places for the lead. As you can imagine, there's a hell of a lot going on my timing screen. Andy Hopley, though, round the outside into Lecombe, takes the race lead. Here is the Deemer, Ward and Jacquelet battle. Carl needs to really be careful. Oh, Deemer's round. Oh, no. 2 races in a row for Lee Deemer. He lost it himself, and then Lewis just gave him a little bit of a kiss. Oh, Mark Woodhouse is off again at the same corner. Edward May has apparently crashed as well. Hang on, sorry about this. It's kicking off on my screen here. It won't let me click the same thing. Oh, Edward May just disappears. Here's what happened to Mark Woodhouse then. Goes into Les Combes on the curb. Oh, he just loses the rear end all by himself. Oh, and he's stopped on circuit now as well. What is going on here? So he's going to get going again. That's Lee Deemer with him. Don't quite think they both knew they were there. These guys both trying to get some points to try and lead their respective championships. Oh, I think Mark's car's just completely broken. Yeah, he's just parked it. Back to the front then. Andy Hopley leading from Miguel Freitas. Fraser Smith in third place. McNally in fourth. Fantastic battling throughout everywhere else in the field. And these three trying to break away a little bit here. Here is McNally on his own. Ben Thayens has got Detige and Franks behind him, with Alex Torres really attacking those curbs. Lewis Ward has made it back up to 9th place. I hope you lot can keep up as much as I can, maybe even better than I can. Dean Timms is apparently going off the circuit. A lot of these guys are actually registering as going in the pit lane. They go that wide out of Blanchimont. And Fraser Smith, fastest lap of the race. Just behind this lot here, Craig Jones and Brian Walker have Silkstone. Look at that behind him. Sebastian Denise, Scott Angelo, Dave Cyrus and Philip Hopley all in this battle. Philip's got the best view of it all kicking off in front of him actually. We'll go on board with Dave Cyrus, who's down the inside of Scott Angelo into La Source. I said oh, Scott just goes deep and clips Silkstone, who then gets hit by his teammate. Oh, there's no need for it, boys. There's no need. Scott goes way too deep. Let's go on board with Scott then, see what happens. I said, Chaz, let's go on board with Scott. So he gets a bit of a slower run, and Dave Cyrus is going to pop up on the right hand side of us. He comes over to defend. He should break about now. Oh, that's just way. Oh, that's pretty poor from Scott Angelo, if I'm honest. She wasn't aware of his breaking point. They're still at it now. Silkstone alongside him. Behind them there is Craig Jones. Sorry, that's Carl Newen behind them. Craig Jones has sneaked through and gained a couple of places. But Scott definitely too deep there, and Silkstone back through. Dave Cyrus just ahead, blinking a little bit there. Ryan Walker's having a good race so far. He's gained 10 places if I can get my words out. There he is with his headset on for Nomad Sim Racing. Hopefully it's not going to be Go-Mad Sim Racing if there's any other incidents. Just behind him is Dean Timms and Craig Jones. And leading the AM class at the moment, Carl Jacquelet once again. Lee Deemer has dropped down to 26th place overall. Mark Woodhouse and Adam Delmont, 27th and 28th. Just behind this is Vincent Charsonnet and Lewis Ward having a good scrap. Can you believe 7 minutes of this race has gone already? I can't. It's flown by. Vincent Charsonnet is saved there by the slipstream. He's getting off Carl Jacquelet. Carl needs to be careful though with these boys catching up with him, that he doesn't get involved in too much of a fight. But of course every position counts in this championship, so he really needs to... Oh, that's very close. Vincent Charsonnet was on his left, and I don't think Carl even knew he was there then. I know that I've questioned Carl and Lee Deemer's spatial awareness before, but he's proven me right at the moment as Lewis Ward goes through. Lewis now going to make it 3 wide down into turn 1. Vincent Charsonnet on the inside gets it stopped. Lewis carries the momentum, and I think he's going to have them both done there. Has he got rid of the overlap? He does. Lewis Ward goes through. Nice manoeuvre. Great opportunistic stuff. But Ben Thayens is also in a bit of a scrap here. He's still got the eSports TCR cars, the Simracersworld eSports TCR cars behind him. And then Alex Torres. So here comes Matthias Detige, who we've been watching with great intent this season. He's been very, very exciting. So has Ben, to be fair. These are two of my favourite races in the series. Both the Belgian drivers going at it. And of course, Gregory Franks behind them as well. Alex Torres, the Spanish Inquisition, trying to get as much info as he wants. He wants to know what's going on in this battle. He wants to get involved. He's trying to put Franks off so he can't defend his teammate. But they're having a fantastic little battle there. Freitas, of course, back in the lead of the race. Animated race again. I like that, Stephen. That's a good phrase for it, my friend. Big fan of that. Plenty going on. And that's what we love. That's what we want. Desige chucks it down the inside, really sideways, going into Pouon. A bit of contact with Ben Thayens. Ben Hop skipping a jump out wide through Pouon. And now Gregory Franks is side by side with his teammate. And Alex Torres is rubbing his hands together, waiting for it. Ben goes quite deep on the brakes there. The car gets a little bit sideways. Lucky to not make contact with either of them. Still side by side now as well. He's really sending it on Gregory Franks. Back on the brakes again. Ben Thayens hugs the apex. Down the inside. Still a bit of an overlap, so he can't get the optimal line. And now it's all about the run down to Blanchimont. I think Gregory's got a better run there. He's going to pull out to the right. Alex Torres wants to go there as well, though. He's not going to be happy. He saw an opportunity and he just can't quite fit the Audi through the gap. Is he going to try and thread the needle? Please don't, Alex. For everybody's sake, please don't. Gregory just moderating the brakes a little bit there. Tiny bit of an overlap, almost contact with the rear quarter of Ben Thayens' car. Onto the brakes again, into the bus stop. Gregory on the inside. That's going to then become the outside, but you can carry a lot of speed around there if you get it right. Ben gets it straightened up nicely. Gregory's still there. Alex trying everything. Ben is squeezing Gregory over to the right-hand side. Torres waiting in the wings, just behind there as well. You can see Lewis Ward jumping out on Vincent Chaussenet. But we're going to stay with this. Torres goes to the right, and they're 3 wide down towards Eau Rouge. This isn't going to go well, boys. Oh, Gregory just comes over. There mustn't have been an overlap then. Amazing racing between these three. And Ben Thayens still manages to come out on top. Now here's the slipstream. Back to Gregory Franks. Carl Jacquelet, of course, still leading the AM category. Do not forget that. He's got Scott Malcolm behind him. Then Andy Fox having a good race at the moment. The lead has changed again. Andy Hopley goes to the front. There's Alex Torres. Who's going to go where? Torres is going to go around the outside of Franks. Has he gone too deep? It looks like it. Gregory's going to keep the place, I think. He gives Alex plenty of space. I've got a great view of it from here. But still, these boys stay line astern. We'll have a quick look at the lead battle. They're still side by side, actually. And Fraser Smith has got back involved in this one as well. And I've got to say that Adam McNally might come up to this as well and get brought in by the slipstream. Rashid Kassim has just gone past Andy Fox for P13 as Jez Banks makes it into the top 20. Fraser Smith wants a really smooth line through here, but I don't think he's going to quite get it. They've all got to be so careful, so many points on the line, but that was an awesome battle we were looking at between Thayens, Destige and Franks and Torres. Well, Freitas looks quite in control at the moment, doesn't he? Back into the lead, which is somewhere he's comfortable, to say the least. Oh, Khan Newen's gone off, apparently. Oh, wow, into the wall. Not sure whether there was any contact there. Let's have a little look. That's Edward May in the Fury Sim Sports car. Khan going into the right-hander at the bottom of the hill. Oh, Edward gives him a kiss. Oh, wow, okay. Another example there of the dreaded netcode, unfortunately. There, I said it. Has to be done, unfortunately. So these lot have calmed down a little bit now, which is probably good for my blood pressure. And even further back, Lewis Ward still hasn't got past Vincent Chaussenet, and he has Carl Jacquelet right behind him. Scott Malcolm there defending from Rashid Kassim. Scott getting a little bit of a tap on the rear there, I think. But can Lewis Ward do anything about Vincent Chaussenet? It doesn't seem like it at the moment. I did say the word, it's the naughty word. And yes, I would love to see the rest of the championship at this circuit. It's brilliant. Spa never fails to entertain. More brilliant battling from these guys. I tell you what, look at this. Adam McNally coming through here to try and pass Fraser Smith, who is just on the right-hand side. Andy Hopley in front. Fraser's going to get no slipstream at all, while McNally gets all of it. I think think they may have made contact there. Fraser still down the inside. Adam gives him plenty of space. Oh, nicely done by Adam. Gets it into third. Of course, he doesn't want to spend too much time battling Fraser because he doesn't want to lose any time to the guys ahead. We'll look back at Franks, who is still trying to get past Ben Thayens, while Alex Torres just laughs at them both. They're pushing so hard as well. You can see the front end of the car just trying to bite the apex. Honestly, it's trying so hard. It's really, really wringing its neck. It's what I love about these TCR cars. You can just see the body language as everyone tries to just get it to do what they want, and it doesn't always behave. Vincent Charsonnet, speaking of someone that doesn't behave, has got Lewis Ward right up his exhaust pipe. I'll tell you what, let's go to said exhaust, shall we? There is Lewis now with one headlight working. Hope it's in warranty. I imagine it's a bit easier to do on the race car than it is on the road car, you know. You can see it just bouncing around over the curbs. I'm wondering whether that damage on the front right will be affecting Lewis's handling at all. More pops and bangs. Listen to the rasp. Listen to the rasp, Chris. Great view once again. Adam McNally is only just in front of Fraser Smith, but he's now nearly a second behind Andy Hopley. And here is Lewis Ward really piling the pressure on. Carl Jacquelet, of course, he wants more points out of this. He's going to be sat there waiting. Lee Deemer is making his way back up the order, but he's only 24th at the moment. He's a second behind Scott Angelo. As Vincent Charsonnet goes a bit deep in there. Lewis Ward's going to try and get the better of him on the exit. Nicely done, very well judged by Lewis Ward there. Doesn't quite get the run that he wants, but he poked his nose alongside at least. He did something about it. Onto the brakes, then into La Source. Vincent doing a good job at the moment of holding Lewis back. We all know how quick Lewis can be. Well, the cars are starting to make a train behind them, I should say. Andy Fox at the back of this, there he is. Not seen much of Andy in this so far. I believe he got involved in the incident earlier on. Up through Eau Rouge to Radion. And back to the front. Hopley has gained more time on Freitas again, and he's starting to put him under pressure here. It's good to see that he's not completely invincible. As further back, Thayens, Franks and Torres still at this once again. Let's go on board with Alex Torres, shall we? This will be entertaining. You don't need real motorsport, look at these lot. So Franks finally through on Ben Thayens, goes to defend very aggressively over to the right. Ben's getting closer and closer to Alex there. He's still alright somewhere. Where is he? Where is he, Alex? Get him. Down to No Name Corner. Alex on the inside. Ben's on the outside. Oh, that to me looks like contact. Oh, they're in the wall, is he? No, Alex is around. Tell you what, Ben does a great job to get out of it. Oh, and into the wall still goes Alex. Ben being very, very gentlemanly there to get out of it, but look at this lot coming down the hill. Vincent Charsonnet now with Lewis Ward as well. I want a nice little clap emoji in chat, please, for Ben Thayens there for the sportsmanship of letting Alex do that, but I think Alex has got a damaged car. And now Lewis Ward comes through and he thinks, oh, great, freebies. Down the inside of Vincent Charsonnet, who goes deep. Oh, he's gone into the back of Ben Thayens. Ben saves it, Vincent saves it. Lewis is going to go around the outside and laugh all the way to the bank here. He's loving it. Carl Jacquelet's trying to come through. He needs to be careful because of the championship situation. He's going to gain a lot of points as things go, but it's going from bad to worse now for Torres. That suspension in the front left is broken, but beautiful racing by those guys there to all stay on track. Nice of Ben, very, very nice. I'm a huge fan of that, seeing sportsmanship in such an obvious fashion like that. Fair play to the guy. Oh, Adam Delmont has just said as well that he's had an issue with his VR. That's why it just cut out. That's a real shame, mate. Yeah, it's very good, though, that you didn't take anyone out, mate. Fair play. Look at the bunch up here. Scott Malcolm and Rashid Kassim at the back of this as well. Freitas does the fastest lap of the race. 2:33.1 in race pace is unbelievable. Yeah, maybe Alex did go in a bit too hot, to be fair. That's not a bad shout. I think Ben might have thought that he squeezed him or something, so it was good to see him get out of it. And this is still going on. If we go on board with Andy Fox, you can just see the train ahead. Yeah, Chris, you're right, he is down on top speed, isn't he? Doesn't look like he's got it in a straight line. 6 and a bit minutes to go. Very interesting helmet design as well on Andy Fox's car. Looks like an angry skull. I like how it carries onto the visor as well. That's quite interesting. Let's have a look at the front of this then. Ben Thayens has gone past Lewis Ward. Vincent Charcenet wants to do the same. He's going to hit. Oh, he's going to tap Ben Thayens again. Well, Vincent's certainly flamboyant on track. I've said that all season. Him and his teammate Sebastian Denise. They've both been amazing to watch. Lewis Ward saying, go on then, son. If you're going to pass him, pass him. Crack on. He's trying to push the Frenchman through. Jacquelette's sat in the middle of this thinking, what have I got myself into here? And he's in the brightest livery as well. The hardest to miss. And he's leading the AM class. Of course, Andy Fox there at the back of this. He's second in AM at the moment. He'll be happy with that. Ryan Walker's on for his second AM podium of the night. But Lewis Ward, he's really, really pushing. Here's a camera that we don't use very often. Big fan of this one as well, actually. I'm surprised I don't use it more. That's Vincent Charcenet in front. And wow, Lewis Ward tries to go around the outside. Doesn't make it work. It looked like he was further alongside from that camera, didn't it? He's trying everything, but Ben Thayens is going to get away at this point. Fraser Smith is latched onto the back of McNally as well near the front, I must say. Hopley has lost Freitas a little bit. They're quite evenly spread out. But Freitas doesn't want it that way, does he? McNally wants his second podium of the night. Fraser wants one. And I like that, Bod. Lewis the Vulture picking up the bones. Yeah. Oh, McNally's gone deep into the chicane. Fraser's going to try and take advantage. Oh, he's not got a good exit out there, though. Doesn't look like he can get it done. Speak English, Charles. Rashid Kassim seemed to have dropped off the back of that train a little bit there. He might have tried to move on Scott and not made it work or something, but he's another one we can go on board with to see the absolute mess of cars in front. It's like a family get-together after this COVID-19 nonsense dissipates. Just on that note, I don't really want to talk about it that much, but I do hope everyone is staying safe and doing everything you can. I hope everybody is well. Please do just take care of yourselves and enjoy the sim racing. We don't have to go out and watch the real racing, do we? Jez Banks, well, we can't go out and watch real racing, let's face it. Jez Banks has apparently crashed. Let's see what happens here. He's with Dean Timms. He's got Liam Silkstone behind him. Jez goes down onto the right. Oh, Dean squeezes him. Oh, and they both go into the wall. There's no need to. Zero need to. No need for Dean to squeeze him there. You just got to give him the space. You must leave the space. Speaking of, Ben Thayens is going to be saying that to Vincent Charcenet right now, who's battling with Lewis Ward. Lewis has to slam on there as Vincent comes across. Lewis goes deep on the brakes. Vincent just sliding across the back of Ben's car. This has been some of the best racing we've seen between all these guys. It's awesome to watch. As Vincent's gone a bit wide there, I think Lewis is going to try and find a way through. It's not quite worked for him yet. Still down through Pouhon. There are worse ways to have a family gathering, says Stephen DeWolf. Yeah, very true, mate. I'd like to go to Spa for a family gathering, but seeing as we're all from the UK, doesn't make much sense. Could go to Alton Park, I reckon. We all live near it, so why not? McNally still holding on to third, by the way. Vincent Charcenet is going to be lucky to hold on to his rear bumper at this rate, with Lewis Ward absolutely harassing him at the moment. I almost didn't dare go into this camera for a second. Look at the amount of lock that Lewis is putting on to get the car around. Sounds like they hang it on the limiter for so long there, but they don't. In the car, it's a very different story. Look at that, even with the slipstream, Lewis hasn't got that much. Oh, Alex, my friend, you were racing so well, mate. Sorry to see it happen. Oh, it's really kicking off with these boys, and of course, I think this is going to be the last lap of the race now. Oh, Lewis tries to go around the outside. He's not quite got the overlap, has he? Not quite. So he can turn across the back of Vincent. Vincent comes all the way back over to the left now. Turns into turn one. Bit of a tap there on the rear. Hopley and Freitas, by the way, keep swapping positions. According to my timing screen, Freitas almost teasing him there and saying, go on, get some slipstream, son, go on. Until they come. Andy might have been saving his tyres. You never know. He did it last time. And he is chasing down Freitas for the win. McNally and Smith just behind this as well. Third and fourth. With Etige in fifth place, Gregory Franks. Then Vincent Chaucenet and Ben Thayens still trying to rip each other's doors off. Ben needs to leave space though because Vincent's still there. Lewis Ward just wishes he had more straight line speed to get the job done and stay there. Oh, Vincent's really defending hard, isn't he? He's a very aggressive racer. Sometimes for the good and sometimes it doesn't end too well. But this is awesome to watch. I hope you're all enjoying that. Look at it. Vincent is all over the place defending these positions. He really wants to make sure Lewis Ward doesn't come through. Carl Jacolette's going to feel quite safe at the moment. Leading the AM class for 2 AM wins tonight for Carl. And he's going to, of course, open up his lead in the championship. We do have to look back to the front, though, because Miguel Freitas has opened up his gap over Andy Hopley, unfortunately for Andy. McNally still in third with Fraser Smith right behind. It looks like that's going to be stalemate for now. Although Fraser's really trying. But we have to look at it though. Miguel Freitas comes into the final corner. He may not have won race 1, but he's done it in race 2 tonight. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Clap emojis in chat. Miguel Freitas, race winner. Andy Hopley, great night, second place for him. And Adam McNally makes it 2 podiums out of 2. Very well done with Fraser Smith coming home in 4th. Etige 5th. What is happening here? Ben Thayens is smashing it on the brakes. Vincent Chaucenet goes in deep. Lewis Ward is there. He doesn't care. He's going to turn in anyway. Ben Thayens comes across the line in 7th. Chaucenet 8th. Ward 9th. Jacolette wins the AM class in 10th. Scott Malcolm in 11th. Kasim 12th. Andy Fox finishes 2nd in AM, with Ryan Walker getting another AM podium tonight. Amazing race by those guys. Andy Hopley has had an awesome evening with 2nd place in that one. Fraser Smith, very well done in 4th. And what a absolute cracker. Lee Deemer is going to recover to 19th place, but it is not the evening that he wanted. He's going to lose a lot of points to his championship rival there. 6th in class behind his teammate Liam Silkstone. Scott Angelo there with about 8/10 of an Audi RS3. Dave Cyrus behind him with Philip Hopley. Khan Newen just coming into the final few corners with Mark Woodhouse behind. Mark's going to try and have him off at the line. I think he's going to do it as well, you know. Mark's going for it. No, he doesn't quite get it done. Khan Newen finishing in 23rd place. Mark there in 24th. So another amazing race. Awesome to watch. So much fun yet again. Really enjoying this series, and I think we're only just over the halfway point as of tonight. But there is your race winner there. Miguel Freitas wins by just under a second from Andy Hopley, with Adam McNally in 3rd place and Fraser Smith in 4th. Matthias de Tige finishes 5th with his teammate Gregory Franks just behind him in 6th. Ben Thayens crosses the line in 7th. That's 3 Belgians in a row. Ahead of Vincent Chaucenet, who, fair enough, did an amazing job defending in that one. Lewis Ward, a great job attacking as well in 9th place. Carl Jacolette finishes 10th, and just behind him is Scott Malcolm in 11th with Rashid Kasim 12th, Andy Fox 13th with Ryan Walker 14th, rounding out the AM class podium, and Sebastian Denise in 15th. We then have Craig Jones 16th, Edward May in 17th with Liam Silkstone 18th, followed by Lee Deemer and Scott Angelo rounding out your top 20. Then it's Dave Cyrus and Philip Hopley. Khan Newen and Mark Woodhouse, who we saw there, were the last 2 cars on the lead lap. And then we have Dean Timms 2 laps down. Jez Banks was the same. Alex Torres, unfortunately, suspension damage after that incident near the end, means he was 3 laps down. And Adam Delmont only made it a couple of corners before his VR packed in, unfortunately. Now I know what we all want to see, and I'm going to take my moment to scroll back up to it. We want to have a look, don't we, at what happened to Lewis Ward. So on this first lap, Lewis and Mark both went off the circuit for a moment. Just going to see if I can find it actually. Okay, here we go. So into Les Combes they go. onto the brakes. Oh, Mark goes in deep actually, hits the back of Lewis. Lewis was already off the shot, that's why we didn't see him, and that damaged the front right of the car as he hit the wall. Although he must have had more contact later on. That was twice that Mark lost it going into there as well. So he's had an absolute nightmare. But anyway, it's time to start the interviews for the evening. And somebody that had a very interesting night indeed, and some good results in the end, is Fraser Smith, who joins me in the booth now. Fraser, I bet you're pretty happy with that tonight. It was quite an action-packed one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I thought I was going to finally get a podium, but I don't think it was meant to be today. I did try.
Oh yeah, mate, we could, trust me, we could tell that you were trying. It was some very epic battling out there. McNally just held on to it in the end. How did you find this car around this circuit then? Because I know it's not a short lap, to say the least, so you don't get many attempts at every corner, but is it good fun to drive around here?
It is, yeah. The only thing I sort of struggled with was, well, I didn't think I was struggling until McNally was catching me. It was Eau Rouge. He was flying through there. I think that's where he got past me both races, and that was the only place I was struggling. But the way I set the car up, I was struggling with heavy straight line braking. So back end was sort of all over the place then. But yeah, other than that, it's good. It's quite easy to get off track. So I've got quite a few, but it's just one of those things, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's definitely easy to get them around here, mate. Don't you worry about that. Yeah. I remember when I did an endurance race a few years ago. I actually did the 24 hours of Spa.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew that my safety rating was going to go down the hill anyway, so I ended up getting 400 incident points for the team in the end.
Wow.
You can easily get 3 a lap if you just go off track here and there, so
yeah.
for you lot to get less than...
race, I'm pretty sure sort of limit we're allowed is 20, and then penalties start getting dished out. And just from following, because when you're following someone so close, if they go wide, you go wide with them pretty much, and then
yeah,
it built up. And final lap I went to 19, and then that was coming out of Eau Rouge, and I sort of knew if I tried too hard to get a podium, I was probably going to end up with a penalty. So I thought I'd have to bring it back a bit. I don't know how everyone else got on for them, but yeah, I got a few.
Well, a lot of these guys, I tell you, they know every single inch of this circuit and where they can put their wheels sometimes and not get an incident. I don't know how they all do it, but they manage to do it one way or another. It was great racing, though, from you tonight, mate. It was good to see you back out there and really getting stuck in. Of course, next week we have another beautiful round where we go to the famous Zolder, a track that is very famous with Simracersworld, of course. How do you feel about going around there? It's a very different kettle of fish to this track.
It is. I've had a bit of help on a setup from some of the new teammates for that one. It's feeling pretty good. I did some officials there last season and it's good, but I mean you've got to be careful of the big curbs because they do kill you.
Oh yeah, this car likes a bounce.
Too brave. Yeah.
What is the team name, by the way? I forgot to ask you because I was going to put it on the overlay, but I didn't get to it in time before.
Oh, okay. Full Send Racing is.
Oh, I could have guessed that from the side of the car, but I don't want to get it wrong. You see, I know teams get very offended if you get it wrong, so I'll reload the little overlay thing in the bottom corner now, and you should be able to see the team name there. There we go, beautiful. But it was really good to watch you there tonight, mate. I'm really looking forward to Zolder. I'm sure you'll do quite well there. You were obviously stuck in with the battling, so there's going to be plenty of that. Before you go though, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just everyone at Full Send. Helped me out with the setup, just give me a few pointers. That's gone a long way, and yourself for the broadcast really, and everyone else behind it. So thank you.
Thanks very much, Fraser. Well, good to speak to you, mate, and we'll speak to you next time round.
Yeah, take care.
Cheers. Fraser Smith there of Full Send Racing, who of course he is now racing for, and someone else that had a very good night. Doesn't really get much better for him, to be honest. Carl Jacquelet for Year 1 Racing. Carl, that's with Lee's unfortunate incidents tonight, that couldn't have gone much better for you, could it?
It went very well. Race 1 was a bit of a challenge because I had so underfueled. I was fuel saving from lap 2.
Oh wow, and so a lot of lifting and coasting then, really?
Lots and lots. It actually ran out between the finish and turn 1. Judged it to perfection.
Yeah.
I was losing so much time at the end. The tyres had gone cold. It was horrible.
Well, we've seen a lot this season as well. Obviously, every position counts. I've been explaining the point system bit by bit over the course of the season where, you know, it's not a case of if you finish first in AM, you get a set amount of points. It depends where you finish overall. You and Lee are not scared to get in a fight with these pro boys, are you?
No, they keep getting in the way. They're both going too slowly.
Well, it's good to see you putting the elbows out a bit, of course. There were a few moments that I certainly took a very sharp inhale of breath where I was worried that either you or Lee were going to get caught up in stuff, but you stayed out of danger while still getting your elbows out. What's the key to it, do you reckon?
Be quite canny tonight. I didn't feel I was taking excessive risks. I was backing out of many a situation that could have got into a nasty pinch point. Sometimes around the outside you can be a bit more lucky, shall I say? But no, you just got to be very aware of what's going on around you. And I was driving to survive. I was letting quite a few people pass just to sit behind them, especially in race one, because I wanted that slipstream to save fuel.
It is indeed. It certainly is one of them situations where you're going to manage it over a race. But of course, you're going to open up your championship lead now over Lee. Do you think that's going to really put the pressure on Lee for the rest of it? I mean, we're halfway through, so do you reckon it's starting to get to crunch time yet, or do you reckon there's quite a bit yet to go before you need to start worrying about it?
I think the pressure will start going on Lee. I'm just driving for points at the moment, trying not to take risks, although I'd really love to get right in the mix, but no, I'm just going to take it safe and keep the pressure on.
Fair play, mate. Well, just before I let you go, Carl, is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to, mate?
Yeah, big shout out to the NHS and all the fantastic work they're doing. Keep it up.
Awesome stuff. And
stay at home.
Yeah, definitely. And I will, well, maybe speak to you at Zolder then next week, mate.
Yeah, hope so.
Cheers. Have a good one.
Good night.
Carl Jackalette there, the man with the most inconsistently volumed microphone in the world, it seems. I'm going to sort that out at one point. Well, it'd be a bit rude not to speak to him tonight, because I tell you what, I think everyone in chat will want me to speak to him, knowing that he's in it. Andy Hopley joins me in the booth. Andy, I bet you are over the moon, mate.
Buzzing, mate. Absolutely buzzing. I was planning on having a chat to you tonight, but I didn't realise it was because of a waste win.
All right, Jonathan.
I can't even speak, mate. Can't even speak. Buzzing.
Well, I'm beaming for you. You can probably hear it now I'm speaking, but you know, to take the fight like that to Miguel, of course, the slipstream helping a bit, but you know that helps to the tactics, doesn't it? You know, it adds a bit more strategy into the race. What were you thinking towards the end of the race then? Were you thinking, obviously, I can get him here, or was it a case of, should I just stay behind and wait?
Yeah, no, I planned that. It was, it basically, he was fighting with Rashid behind me. I had a 2-second gap. We had 6 laps to go. He got past Rashid, and within about 3 corners, he just absolutely, dominated through those 3 corners and caught straight back up to me. I thought, man, there's no way. I need to play this smart. There's no way I can just fight him for 3 laps. So
yeah,
just planned to let him go and then just give it one last hurrah down the straight after Eau Rouge and Radion. And luckily it paid off around the outside.
Well, it certainly did, mate. I mean, the rain came to an end, albeit temporarily. Of course, he got the win in race 2, but another great battle for you, though. I'm sure you've enjoyed it all the way through tonight, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been mega, mate. I do love the TCR round Spa. It's just a mind game, isn't it? It's, you know, as long as you're within half a second of the pace, then it is literally just a mind game. It's not about raw speed.
Yeah, well, it certainly seemed that way. I mean, I said it at the beginning of the broadcast as well, you know, with the slipstream in there, you have to be thinking all of the time. So, good to see you get the results, mate. And, of course, a 1-2 for Meraki as well. I bet Lewis is over the moon, isn't he?
Yeah, it's been some exciting chats going on between the boys, so, you know, it's been a long time coming.
Well, it's good to see it finally happen, mate. Before I let you go tonight, is there anyone you want to give a quick shout-out to?
All the drivers, my race steward team behind the scenes, big shout out to those boys. They do put a lot of time and effort in. Obviously, the general admin team, you know, with Ian and Anton and Ronald putting in the work with the website and the spreadsheets and everything. You for the broadcast, Simortal for the sponsorship, and yeah, everybody watching. Thanks for watching.
Smashing stuff, mate. Well, if you need a word with me, then we'll have a chat in a minute, shall we? But if not, I'll speak to you at Zolder.
All right, buddy.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Oh, I dragged him out a bit prematurely there, but Andy Hopley, race winner tonight, the first driver that isn't Miguel Freitas to win a race for 6 rounds, I believe. And it wouldn't be a broadcast with me in the commentary booth without an interview with Adam McNally of XII Racing. Adam, no win tonight, but 2 podiums. You've got to be happy with that.
Oh, definitely happy with that, especially the track I suck at.
Well, it certainly didn't look that way from the outside, mate. You were in some really good battles. I mean, that second race was a bit lonely at points for you, but I suppose it makes life a bit easier that way. You get a chance to breathe a bit, do you?
Yeah, we're coming up to the end of the straight by Eau Rouge. At the end of lap 1, I'd already made up 7 places, and it was just a case of trying to catch them front 3.
I was going to say,
just watch them on the straights pull away in the draft, and then I would start catching up a bit in the corners as I battled, and it took a while.
Well, you certainly got there in the end, mate. Of course, Fraser Smith was one of your dueling buddies tonight. He was really on form, wasn't he?
Oh, definitely. It's just a shame about the neck hold in race 1.
Yeah, we caught that. I didn't want to use the word, but it was quite severe, wasn't it?
Oh, it was shocking.
It does happen, though. We know it, don't we? I suppose
Oh,
it's part of the curse of sim racing sometimes. A bit of an up and down night for you Excite boys, though. I mean, there was a couple of incidents further back. I know Scott Angelo got involved with Cyrus and Silkstone into turn 1 that took both of them around. Dima had a bit of a bad night in the AM class, but how was the sort of overall mentality of the team? Are you still pushing forward to get more, maybe even get another win this season? Because of course you did 2 at Brands.
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely chasing that win. I'm sick of the sight of the back of that Miguel Freitas team mad car. I need to get in front of it at one point.
Well, it seems like it's not an easy task at the minute, does it? I mean, Andy just about did it, but that's it was very tough for him. But I reckon that people are starting to catch up, though. I mean, he's not as dominant as he was when he first turned up, I'd say.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially the Iraqi lads are making great progress on the speed, and they seem to just have a little bit more than me at the minute, so they can keep the pressure on them. But the racing's been great, so that's all that matters really. It'll be nice to get the wins.
Oh,
but podiums will do.
Well, it's been awesome to watch, mate. I've really enjoyed broadcasting it. I mean, we've got half the season left yet. It's going to be an absolute corker. This is only the halfway point now. We go to Zolder next week. What do you think of going there in these cars? Obviously, it's a bit more close quarters around there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The curbs as well, something to take into consideration, the slowdowns, because they're quite shocking. And that second chicane, that curb's lethal.
Yeah, it is. Very lethal.
Yeah, just be a case to see what happens as we get there.
Yeah.
It should be good fun, hopefully.
Fingers crossed, mate. Plenty of doors hanging off and bits of Audi dotted around the track, I'm sure. I hope there's
as long as it's not mine.
Yeah, true. I just hope there's an Audi parts franchise nearby to Zolder. If there isn't, someone needs to go and buy one now. I know the coronavirus is keeping you indoors, but go and buy one because you're going to need it. You'll make a killing, trust me. Just before you go, though, Adam, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to, buddy?
Yeah, just the usual. You for doing the broadcast.
Hang on. Get the list out.
The list out. Andrew and everyone that does all the hard work behind the scenes. To our main sponsors, Excite Energy, Motorsport Days Live, Brio Premature Baby Foundation, Race Mentor, LuxSim24 and ESG UK.
And in a few weeks' time, Adam will be releasing the audiobook version of his sponsor list. But good to speak to you as always, Adam. I'm sure we'll speak again at Zolder, but in the meantime, have a great week, mate.
Right, thanks very much. Catch you later.
Cheers, buddy. And that brings us to the end of another fantastic broadcast. Once again, I've really enjoyed myself tonight. I hope you guys have too. Another awesome pair of races. Miguel Freitas taking the win in race 2, but Andy Hopley breaking the curse, getting a 1-2 for Meraki Racing with his teammate Lewis Ward in race 1. Spa has definitely delivered. Don't forget to join me same time next week on Tuesday night at 8 PM British summertime. Now the clocks have gone forward, which means I lost an hour of sleep over the weekend, but can you tell? We're at Zolder. It's going to be absolutely mental. It's a thin track. There's curbs everywhere, chicanes everywhere, and these Audis are not small cars. As Ian Fox says, have a good night all. Stay safe. Make sure you take care of yourself while all this absolute nonsense is going on. I've been Chaz Draycott, and I'll see you next week.